So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were discussing about how social media has really ruined the perception of what being happy means. And this is because the perception of being happy has changed from, instead of being happy being a state of mind, we've changed it to being a state of having. So that means that we have changed from being happy, meaning we can only be happy when we have this and this, instead of being happy is a state that we create. And being happy doesn't have to do with what you have or what you don't have. This is a state of mind that we can create any time that we want to. But because of so much comparison of what we watch our friends do and post, and we tend to begin to think that they are happier than we are. And instead of us feeling like we are happy, then we start feeling like we are not happy unless we have this and this. And it really got me into thinking like a lot of people are becoming more and more depressed with generations versus the generation. And this is all due to social media and what we consume and the state that we put ourselves in after the consumption. We have to be mindful. We have to do and like emotion work and master how to manage our emotions, because if we let our emotions rule around, then what happens is there'll be more self-comparison, more depression, and things will just keep falling apart. When I thought about what being happy means, I thought about it, instead of us reaching out for the state of being happy, maybe we should aim to just have peace at first. Aim your life to become so peaceful, alright? And then you can worry about being happy after that. Because one thing you discover is when you're having peace in your life, when you experience a peaceful life, you'll never look backwards. You'll never even want to go for anything else apart from staying in that peaceful state. We have forgotten on how to have a peaceful life looks like and how it actually feels for us. And I want you to look back and ask yourself, when is the last time you had a peaceful life? When is the last time you experienced peace for the whole week? Right? Imagine the calm that comes with having a peaceful life. So instead of you wondering on how to be happy, how to make your life more happier, and looking for all these other things, maybe you should work on how you can have a more peaceful life. What do you need to remove? What do you need to add in order for you to have a peaceful life? Once you experience what it means to have a peaceful life, you'll be so excited. You'll understand exactly how you can create happiness. In definition, happiness is a state of mind. It's a feeling. It's something that we create. Happiness doesn't just happen. Nobody wakes up and they're just happy. This is something we create. We can create it any particular time. I think I have 2 podcasts that talks into more context of how to be happier, essentially. And I find it to be like a cheat code, which makes you know which roadmap you can follow on how to be happy. I think you can go and listen to that in my podcast if you want to go deeper into that topic. So the point that I want you to understand is aim to have a more peaceful life. Aim to have a more calm life, and happiness will follow. Learn how to master your emotion is the first important thing that you can ever learn, because this is the one thing that will help you and always bring you back to the right state of mind whenever you sleep around, right? Sleep, So think about it in that, like, if you don't understand how to master your emotion and to regulate your emotion and to regulate your nervous system, then you'll always be looking for things that will make you feel happy, contented, and you start feeling like life has no meaning, So it's very important to work on how you can have a more peaceful life. And you just need to understand how you go through in a day. What are the things that you do day by day that you feel like you want to do more? What are the things that you feel like you want to remove in your life? What environments do you want to take yourself out of? What social media consumption do you want to remove yourself from watching? Which people do you think it's time to part ways or to put aside or have a break? You just have to do a lot of self um, reflection, self questioning, in order for you to understand exactly on how you can get there. And I think that's where we should all be aiming, because social media has really changed the perception of how life is supposed to be. We will see what people will be doing and will be feeling we need to do the same, even though we were happy a minute before we even started consuming that content that we just saw, that made us move from being happy to a different state of mind just because we saw something. Then we started having a different perception of how things should be. This comes together with managing what we consume. Manage your consumption, choose what you're going to consume, follow the right people who are headed towards where you're going, not just random FYP's stuff. Interact with the content that you want to see more from any social media, and the algorithm will bring you back to that, and will bring you to feed you that kind of content. And start unfollowing the things that you don't want to engage with, and the things which are time suckers for you, the things which are not bringing, which have nothing to bring you peace and calm. Don't engage in conversations that you know they're not gonna bring any peace. I read somewhere that says, like, when you get rid of people, you should also get rid of talking about them. So if you're getting rid of certain people in your life, avoid talking about them completely. Don't have them in your mouth. And the moment you stop talking about them, out of sight, out of mind, then you'll experience how it feels when they're not there. But if you talk about them, even if you're not having them in your life, but you're still discussing them with your friends and the rest of the people, you still have them in your mind. So if you want to exclude these people, is give yourself a challenge and not talk about them at all. If somebody brings them up in a conversation, just distract them, distract you, until you can go back to being self-disciplined on what you say you're gonna keep your mouth out of. So I think that's it for now.